Raul Ramirez with the Catch Wrestling Alliance, where we basically do many things, but our main goal is to keep real wrestling alive. The other things we do is to help you elevate your grappling and basically take control of your grappling success, whether it be catch wrestling competition or even like no gi competition. I think those are the two like most comparable styles that would kind of match with what catch wrestling is doing. But yeah, even if it's MMA or whatever, catch wrestling and our instruction can help you like take control and actually get better success in all those endeavors. And actually, that's what we're going to be talking about today, because it's unfortunate that this kind of happens more and more, not necessarily more and more frequently, but it happens often where, like in MMA and specifically, people were always talking about how like wrestling is the dominant style, and it still really is. Like you can still, if you're really good at ground and pound and whatnot, but um, like just like about a month ago in one championship, a I think this would be one of the better examples where you have someone who comes from a freestyle wrestling family. It's like I think we've spoken about her before on the channel, Ritu Phogat, whose family like they made a movie about her freestyle wrestling family, and um, how that like uh, basically how just wrestling and freestyle wrestling is um, is like just a big major part of them and what they do. And so Ritu has been in fighting in MMA for a while now, and she ended up getting a chance to what like fight for the, I don't know if it's like an interim championship, and where like the winner will fight like the former, or like the main champion was on hiatus because she had a baby, right? So she's wanting to come back, and so they wanted to have like a women's tournament to see who would face her first. And Ritu and this woman named Stamp Fairtex from Thailand made it to the finals, right? But the thing about Stamp is that she's primarily a Muay Thai boxer. She's won the one championship, like kickboxing and all these other types of world championships and stuff for striking, right? And so she isn't necessarily the best at grappling, and that wasn't her like main thing. But now because she's doing MMA, she's gotten more practice doing basically jujitsu, right? Ritu has been. It seems like she's training at Evolve. So for those of you who don't know that, that's like the big time MMA gym in Singapore. It's like a beautiful facility. I've been there like many times. Really great. So there's always like really like they basically import talent to train there and teach there, and it's just like a really cool place to train. Maybe a little expensive, right? They definitely charge. There's definitely other gyms where like maybe former instructors from Evolve go to teach. So there's a lot of great. Seems like they're like all over the island now. There are a lot of great instructors. So some were former Evolve instructors and stuff. So um, Evolve isn't the only place, but Evolve is the place where like these really famous people, famous competitors will train and coach, right? So I believe Ritu trains there at Evolve in Singapore. And so anyway, you can think of Evolve as like the gym. I believe it's probably even owned by One Championship, because they want to make sure they bring in good talent to fight in the promotion and whatnot. But so if you see a fighter fighting at or training at Evolve, that's probably like their darling, right? Stamp also is kind of a little bit of their darling, but she doesn't train there really. She still trains at, of course, Fairtex, right? Because she changed her name. Okay, so anyway, with that being said, um, they ended up basically getting to the end of this tournament, and we'll kind of maybe talk about what happened. I think maybe um, I'll try to talk through it here. Let me see. I got the video. I had it loaded up here. Let's see where it went. Darn. Some technical difficulty going on here. I had the video clip loaded up here. But let me just see if it's... Nope, not that one. Where did it go? Well, let me talk and then I'll upload it right now while we're still talking, right? So it's uploading again. Hopefully there's no problem this time. But anyway, so this basically would be like a standard grappler versus... Actually, not even standard. It'd be like a more of a novice grappler going up against a big time wrestler, right? So because especially a lot of people, I think, fairly call like amateur wrestlers like wrestlers, but this shows that they're like not... They're still missing the whole catch wrestling thing, and that's a big problem, right? So let's go ahead and actually play it. So yeah, I uploaded it again, and it's ready to be played. Hopefully there's no glitch here. I don't know why. Okay, so anyway, let's go ahead and get to it. So this is Ritu Phogat, so the wrestler, versus the novice grappler. So this clip is going to be about a minute long. Okay, this is round 2 of their MMA fight.
Just as a disguise for that shot. There she goes. Gets that single leg. Now she's in the open. Let's see what she can do here. Stamp's trying to jump onto the back. Ritu's going to try to go chest to chest. Maintain this top position.
Don't let her get to your back, Ritu. Get down. Let's get back to our feet.
See, so you can see there's maybe like a Nelson attempt, but there's no pressure really being applied. All right, so then Ritu's era, Stamp's able to re-guard, and then she's actually keeping some wrist control there. Right, she's trying to keep control, also to kind of stop the ground and pound, and to kind of like set up that triangle choke. Ritu's not really stacking, not really applying too much pressure. She's trying to escape. She's trying to escape by the one of those rotational escapes from the triangle choke, but it almost seems like she's not the most, like, she's not so used to it. Okay, so Stamp is still, well, she was keeping control of an arm, but there she goes back to trying to keep control of an arm. She's getting stacked now. That's probably her best chance of getting out right now, but she's not pulling the arm out. So Stamp's just still keeping control of that arm. And then, right, hopefully you guys heard me through that. So we'll see. Hopefully my voice didn't get mixed in too much with like Michael Chavello and all those other announcers. So what you saw though is that Stamp still kind of kept control of the arm, and I think it also showed that Ritu didn't quite, or at least didn't have like in the muscle memory ways to get out of that triangle choke position, right? And also she wasn't necessarily like how people kind of equate wrestlers with pressure passing and whatnot. That really didn't seem to be going on that way. I don't want to like be like picking on Ritu or anything like that, but it's been my point for a while that like the amateur wrestling isn't enough, and having an expert catch wrestling background would probably be the better example of wrestler versus grappler. But I think just over the years things have changed, or people's understanding of what wrestling is or what a wrestler is totally misunderstood. So anyway, this is what you're gonna see with a lot of these wrestler versus grappler. But in this case, Stamp Fairtex is not wouldn't be like an expert grappler, but because she kept control of the arm, wrist, and because Ritu didn't seem to have like that muscle memory of how to escape these the triangle choke, then it's ultimately set up that armbar, right? So uh, my main thing would be like it'd be great to see Ritu doing catch wrestling. It'd be great to see even Stamp doing catch wrestling. But right now, like the mainstream grappling is jiu-jitsu, so we won't see that anytime soon. Yeah, unfortunately, right? Uh, so Jonathan Jimenez, yo, that photo of Frank Gotch next to your bedside. Yep, that's Frank Gotch next to me. I'm not in my bed though, so but maybe. I'm just kidding. Welcome. Was it Martin Valenzuela? Good to see you. So yeah, kind of getting back to the point where it's like ultimately, the catch wrestling aspect is what's missing in this whole kind of freestyle or this whole wrestler versus grappler situation, right? I think since we have like more and more documentations and more matches, like I mentioned earlier this year, like a few months ago, Flow Grappling, they put out their whole thing, their mini documentary about grappling being better than wrestling, and they had like some of the absolute best uh, of of amateur wrestling just get submitted in these no-gi matches. So it's sad to see. It's like heartbreaking, right? um, but it shows the reality, or that the um, like sometimes you can't rely on just being a better wrestler, right? And you see in this case, um, the more novice grappler is able to submit the better wrestler, the obviously better wrestler, right? But the thing is, I spoke about it in one of our recent technique videos where it was actually Ritu again, where she set up a low single, I believe, and her head was on the outside of the leg. So this is what set up this submission also, right? So Ritu lowered her level. She put her head on the outside uh, for getting a single leg this time, and she was that's it's probably arguable whether or not Ritu was able to get Stamp down or Stamp fell over, because it'd probably be more beneficial to set up your submission hold if she just fell over. So I think it's kind of a mix of both, where uh, either way, it wasn't the most secure way of getting that single leg, right? But I think Ritu is probably thinking that she'll be able to figure out a better way to dominate or stay on top once she got Stamped down, and that's getting her down is probably the only thing that mattered. So I think that's why you see that, right? But the thing is, like, and maybe we'll kind of mention our recent release on our website is the pressure passing system volume 1, where in this case we go over how to use a cradle to escape and pass guard, but also to set up submissions and whatnot. So this is our new course that we have on our website at catchwrestlingalliance.com. That's available already. We just released it last week. We have one of our good buddies, these black belts in Brazil, in Rio. They're already using some of these, and so we'll be sharing some of their videos there, because you can kind of see how a black belt in jiu-jitsu can learn these things and apply it successfully against another. They've already sent me some video footage of them, training, and how it just really works. And so that's why I'm saying there's maybe this kind of finesse that's missing with your standard amateur wrestling background. And if we can get some of these kind of like these techniques that are more cognizant of submissions, and also that can end up in submission holds for the wrestler, then you can see some really great matches. I think you'll be able to see more of them, right? And so we have that course, and basically, since it's volume 1, that means we're going to be adding volumes, and so just formulating the next ones, uh, and they should be up soon. So we have a lot of stuff that we're planning for the next year, and so hopefully you can be looking forward to that. Plus, having events and stuff, more matches and all that. So next year should be a really great year for catch wrestling. So hopefully you stay tuned and you continue to support us. Um, and if you want to support us in with becoming a member, whether if you don't want to become a student, then you can become a member of our YouTube channel. That would be very, very helpful. We're going to be we have special videos and stuff that are um, for the like, say, someone who just wants to support and doesn't necessarily want to become a student. We have a bunch of really cool technique videos, but also fun videos too. So you can always uh, find a way to support us, and we really appreciate it. All right, so Martin. Actually, let me scroll back. You guys have been making a bunch of comments. Martin Valenzuela. Catch wrestling rules. A catch wrestler would catch and have catch on submission. Amateur wrestlers who don't have any submissions in their game. Yeah, that should be the goal. Where it's like, if you go up against someone who is an amateur wrestler, you should really try to submit them. Like, go for the submissions. Don't worry about out wrestling them or pinning them. But you gotta use your wrestling ability to set up your submissions. Martin Valenzuela. Catch wrestling, the complete package. I agree. Jonathan Jimenez, Fujiwara cradle. Yes, that's one of the techniques we show. Actually, it was one of our latest videos featuring Jonathan, right? And then also Jonathan is the guy who gets beat up in our latest video course, the Pressure Pass System Volume 1. So hopefully you guys can pick it up sooner than later to really get control of your grappling and really elevate your skill. Martin Valenzuela. Happy New Year's, Catch Wrestling Alliance. Happy New Year's to Martin and everyone, really. Really appreciate everybody. Martin again, the whole Catch Wrestling Alliance, coach, students, followers, subscribers. Yep. Yeah, we definitely are appreciative of everybody, and want to send out a heartfelt thank you for basically, we didn't have because of COVID and all that, we really couldn't do anything. And then right now, everywhere around the world, COVID is surging. So a lot of things are getting canceled, right? Especially if you're in the United States. A lot of like the biggest sport we have is it's football. And so a bunch of football games are getting canceled. A bunch of collegiate football games are getting canceled, concerts and all these New Year's things. But hopefully we can still continue with our plans for the new year with regards to catch wrestling. And usually, I think if we can keep things small, because football game requires a lot of teammates and stuff. So hopefully, maybe some catch wrestling matches, if we make sure there's no audience and just kind of keep it to the competitors and coaches and whatnot, camera people or whatever, then you can kind of keep it safe and COVID free, right? So that's kind of the goal, or the way we'll kind of just proceed, because we haven't had an event in a long time, right? So let's go ahead and let's do it. Martin Valenzuela. Oh, I already read that comment. So yeah, so so just keep watching, really. And so it's going to get back to the whole idea where it's just like, this is another example of, and so for those of you who just joined right now, like, we have another example of when a high level wrestler gets submitted by a very low level grappler, right? All right. So in this case, it's Ritu Phogat, who has like a storied, like, the whole family has a freestyle wrestling background. There's movies made about her family and whatnot. And she just got submitted by a novice, right? So the novice, but this is the thing, you can call her a novice grappler, but you can't call her a novice kickboxer. But she didn't use kickboxing. She didn't knock out Ritu. She submitted her. So let's go ahead and take another look at that. I'll see if I can talk through it. Okay, so here we go.
Just as a disguise for that shot. There she goes. Gets that
Okay, so you see
single leg.
that outside, the head's on the outside there, and so she was able to yank the leg and get Stamp down, but I think Stamp also thought it might be better to just go down and set this up. She can set up a triangle there, like an inverted triangle, but you see how she pushes the leg out of the way and is able to then get a maybe even a better position with that standard triangle. Stamp is also keeping control of the wrists, right?
Let's see if Ritu can pop out
Uh,
of this, get her
and
hand
so she's with that wrist control, she's able to set up some of the kind of like counter strikes, and then she's able to tighten up the triangle choke there, trying to get the elbow going across.
This is a bad spot for
Ritu's corner is actually yelling out some pretty good instructions, but I think because maybe the pressure of the moment, or because Ritu doesn't really have the counter, like in her muscle memory, she's not doing it right. She's still trying to have her hands forward, like Stamp can even set up arm bars then, but now she's kind of going maybe more for the belly down armbar, which is my favorite. But yeah, just keeping that control. Yep, now the leg position by Stamp has gone over to armbar, straight up armbar. Ritu's thinking that strikes can get her out of this, but when she stacked her, she should have got that arm out, but she didn't, so stuck nice and deep, and then a novice was able to get that submission. All right, great job, Stamp. All right, so hopefully you guys heard me all right through there. Hopefully, whoever, if you guys can comment, let me know if you guys heard my voice okay enough through the video. But I also want to give a shout out to One Championship. They put on a lot of great matches, and like they're really nice about letting people use their footage. Right, so we actually specifically got the okay from one of their like whatever video people or whoever's in charge. They said it was cool because they're cool like that, and I think it just really helps spread the MMA goodness, right? Or they have a lot of great kickboxing matches too. So the like usually if we have like the most popular, so basically we have UFC stuff. Chances are that UFC will have my video taken down. So even if it's like, suppose I heard that like the rules were, it's like if you're using footage to like for an instructional purpose, then it's totally fine, but apparently not. Right, but anyway, that's why we asked One Championship specifically, and they're like, yeah, go ahead, but they said I think maybe just try not to use like many minutes, because they have some kind of legal thing going on with certain regions. So anyway, that's maybe a little too much information. So, but what we used right now is totally fine, and like they're cool with us using the footage, and they like all their events are streamed for free live on YouTube and stuff, and I kind of think that's how it should be, right? And so, actually, speaking of that, in our future matches, we can try to get the live stream going. It's just a little difficult depending on like the venue and stuff and their internet connection, right? So if not, we'll just have everything at least, we're gonna have good quality recordings, and then we'll upload them as soon as possible afterwards. So I think probably one of the quickest ways is if everyone's okay with just having a single camera view of the thing, so you're not seeing all these cuts, like when you see like even in the One Championship matches where you'll have like at least two cameras, right, shooting, sometimes even more. So then the one director will be skipping between the different angles, right? Then that's a little complicated, because then you need the director there to be pushing the buttons to have the different angle go to the feed, so go to what you're seeing. So That requires more people. But if people are okay with just like seeing a single cameraman recording, that type of footage can get up online very fast, right? You don't need editing, and you don't need multiple people. You can just have one person, and then after it's recorded and done, then it can be uploaded quickly to the internet, right? All right. Okay, let's get back to some of your questions. Martin Valenzuela, I love the background and even your setup. All right. Thank you. Martin Valenzuela, most of the copyrights, yeah, are from UFC. One championship rocks that they are letting you use the clips. I agree. From my side, it looks good quality. The video and audio, it's top notch. Awesome. So yeah, we try to actually have real like real camera people filming our events. So we'll try to keep that going. But it's just like to have multiple cameras. It just gets you just need more and more people controlling that. So it'll just be difficult. All right, so let's go ahead and keep it short so you guys can enjoy your your holiday weekend. So just wanted to thank everyone for supporting us this year, and we'll try to do even more next year. Check out our our new course, Pressure Pass System Volume 1. That's a really good way to help you get control of your grappling. So like I was mentioning, I was trying to talk about during that match, it's the grappler was the one who kept control. Even though they were on the bottom, they were still trying to stop the different strikes, and she was also using the wrist control to set up the submissions and whatnot. So it's unfortunate that the person who is identified as the wrestler lost, but it shows some of the shortcomings that hopefully the Catch Wrestling Alliance can help people overcome, help these amateur wrestlers overcome, and hopefully, if they want to get into like no gi competition or MMA competition, and hopefully they look to us to help them. Martin Valenzuela. I like how Catch Wrestling Alliance does the events and uh, and the cameraman, while others do modified catch wrestling tournaments and have one cameraman, if any, right? Or it's really dark or whatever. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so um, once again, so if anybody who's not in Los Angeles and they want to learn, go ahead and join the Catch Wrestling Alliance Academy. So CWA Academy, that's on our website, catchwrestlingalliance.com. You can also support us by becoming a member of our YouTube channel. Under each video, it says join, or even on our main homepage, it should say join, and it gives you different membership tiers. So we really appreciate your support. So that can really help with future matches, and actually helping us to continue pumping out the different instructional courses. So those ones, of course, everything takes time, and effort. So any of your support is greatly appreciated. All right. So thank you for watching and listening wherever you get your podcasts, or we're also on Twitch. And thank you for watching on YouTube as well. We really appreciate it. So happy New Year, everybody.